Good day, class. So, this is the continuation of our lecture, and now we're going to focus on the brown laws. Kasi kung naaalala nyo, ng nakarang discussion natin, yung natapos lang natin is yung green laws at saka yung blue laws. So, ngayon, pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung mga batas under sa brown laws. So, there are 4 important laws in this group that you need to know. So, una is yung the law for toxic waste. Ayan, yung Republic Act 6969. And the second one is the law for clean air. Ayan, yung Republic Act 8749. Next is the Republic Act 9275 or the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. So again, dito sa Philippine Clean Water Act, kung mapapansin nyo, is belong siya sa brown laws na. So, bakit kaya hindi siya belong sa blue laws? Dahil yung batas na to, class, is tumutukoy sa pollution. So, hindi ibig sabihin na may na-mention dito na water is makakategorize na kaagad natin siya na blue law. So, hindi ganon. Dahil itong Clean Water Act, it talks about pollution. Then next, or lastly, meron tayong tinatawag na Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management. So, ayan. Unahin natin yung Republic Act 6969. So, itong batas na to, class, ito yung mga substances or hazardous and nuclear waste control. So, this law was passed and was been enacted in the year 1990. So, yung batas na to, it regulates and at the same time, nag-prohibit sa importation ng mga toxic substances like hazardous waste, pati na yung nuclear waste. And at the same time, processing, ayan, sell, distribution, use and disposal of chemical substances and mixtures that present unreasonable risk and or injury to the health or to the environment. So, ang nakalagay dito is unreasonable risk. So, let's say for example, is bumili yung isang farmer ng pesticide, di ba? So, alam naman natin na yung pesticide is toxic substances yan. Pero, ginagamit niya yung pesticide in order to control the pest sa plantation. So, let's say for example, is rice yan. Tapos, nag-spray ka ng pesticide. So, reasonable yan. So it's not basically a violation under the law because the use of toxic substances like pesticide is considered justifiable. Ayan, justifiable under this law. Then next, the law covers the importation, manufacture, processing, handling, storage, transportation, sale, distribution, use and disposal and all unregulated chemicals, substances and mixture in the Philippines. So, kasali dito, class, yung entry, kahit na yung pag-transit or transportation, as well as the keeping or storage and disposal of hazardous and nuclear waste into the country for whatever purpose. Ayan. So, again, in the case of pesticide, there are toxic substances. So, these are regulated toxic substances sa government natin. So, regulated siya if undergoes the necessary permit and the necessary processing. Pero again, pag nuclear weapon yan, may nuclear chemical ka, let's say for example, you have a uranium. I don't know if you are familiar with this word. Kasi pag sinabi natin uranium, class, it is one of the component of a nuclear weapon or a nuclear, atomic bomb, di ba? So, pag uranium yan, without any regulation coming from the government, and the possession thereof is considered to be illegal. So, hindi pwede yan sa batas natin. So, yung mga yan is subject yan for seizure and confiscation. Next is RA 8749 or yung Clean Air Act of 1999. So, ayan. So, kapag class pumunta tayo sa smoke testing center, is may nakalagay dyan in a very big letter yung batas na 8749, yung Clean Air Act of 1999. So, bakit kaya may nakalagay? Because in a registration or the renewable rather, kasi on a renewable of the registration of motor vehicle, kailanganin na i-test yung smoke ng vehicle if there is too much carbon monoxide that emitted in the air that can cause pollution. Dahil ang purpose class ng smoke test is to find out kung yung smoke emitted by motor vehicle is something that is huge or that is hugely impact in as far air pollution concerned. So, pag ang vehicle is nag-emit ng smoke tapos ang smoke niya could affect hugely the air quality, is pwedeng hindi siya maging pasado sa pag-renew ng registration. And then next is the violation of standard of stationary sources and motor vehicle. So this law provides for emission and other standards which stationary sources. So kasali dito class yung factories, mobile sources such as motor vehicle must follow and comply with. So it provides for a system of permit, quotas, and also financial liability for environmental rehabilitation. So hindi lang yung motor vehicle ang subject ng RA 8749, pati na rin yung various factories are emitting smoke. Next, RA 9275 or the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. So ito class yung pinakabago. Ito yung pinaka-recent na batas dealing with the water sources and water pollution. So sa batas na to, klarong-klaro yung pag-mention ng water pollution, di ba? Kaya nasabi natin na belong siya sa brown laws. So ano ba yung mga acts that constitute? Una, yung water pollution. Ayan. So this kind of violation specifically includes pollution of water body, groundwater pollution, chemical dumping, and illegal discharge. So, ibig sabihin nito class, let's say for example, may piggery ka, 'di ba? At yung waste ng piggery mo is actually discharged on the river. It's basically a violation of RA 9275. So, kasali na din dito yung dumping of waste. Let's for example, may garbage ka, tapos yung, kumbaga, wala kang disiplina. Kinuha mo yung garbage mo at itinapon mo doon sa water. So, di ba this is very common? Labi na mga harani na o kuya dagat na itira mga busura ginahapil la dito hit dagat. So, alam naman natin na dahil dito is nagkukus ito ng pollution. At kapag nagkaroon ng pollution, tayo din naman yung mga tao yung maapektuhan, di ba? Next is the RA 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. So, ito class yung batas that govern waste management. So, one of its declared policies is to ensure the proper segregation. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng proper segregation sa 9003? 'Di ba yung garbage natin is dapat separated yan if it's biodegradable, non-biodegradable, or hazardous. So, dito yan sa batas na to. Then, yung collection, transport, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adaptation of the best environmental practice in ecological waste management excluding incineration. Ayan. So, pwede no. Dapat we subject the garbage into burning. Kasi kapag nagsunog tayo, lalo na yung mga plastics, remember that plastics can destroy the ozone layer class. So, as much as possible, yung pag-process nito or pag-treat nito should be accordance with the environmental protection. Next, punishable acts under RA 9003. So, the first one is the illegal dumping and disposal of waste. So, pag ang disposal of waste sa bodies of water, pwedeng nag-violate ka daw dito ng Clean Water Act, and at the same time, you also violated Republic Act number 9003. So, dalawang batas yung pwedeng na-violate mo. Kasi sa RA 9003, kasali din dito yung dumping and disposal of waste. So, includes littering. So, ano ba yung littering? Pag sinabing littering, you loiter or you just throw your garbage away. So, yon. So, the surprising facts in this is kapag Pinoy ka, 'di ba? Pag pumunta ka ng abroad, napakadisiplinado mo, 'di ba? Kung mapapansin niyo class yung bansang Singapore. So, Singapore is very clean place. So, if a Pinoy will go to Singapore, tapos iga-apply lagi hapon nera et ira kabagra, sorry for the word, pero ganun talaga, 'di ba? So, once na magkalat sila doon, automatic paparusahan talaga sila ng batas. So, yung disiplina talaga is nandun sa kanila. Kaya ganun. Maganda yung environment nila doon. Another punishable acts is the illegal dump sites and waste disposal facilities. This includes establishing and operating open dumps and constructions and operations of a landfill near watersheds, reservoir, or aquifer. Next, punta naman tayo sa mga agencies. So, kanina, yung mga na-mention ko na mga batas, under yon class sa brown laws. Ito naman yung mga agencies na under sa tinatawag nating green laws agencies. So, I'll be categorizing yung mga agencies in accordance also to the category of the laws. So, una, yung Green Laws Enforcement Agency. Ayan. Then, next is the Blue Laws Enforcement Agencies. And then, the last is the Brown Laws Enforcement Agency. So, we'll start with the green one. Ayan. So, una, yung pinakamataas, no? Yung Department of Environment and Natural Resources or yung tinatawag nating DENR. Kasi in the national level, ito yung tinatawag na National Government Agency dealing with the environment. So, pag environment yan, kasali na dito yung conservation, yung management, yung development, pati na yung utilization or proper use ng environment and natural resources. So, DNR yung nasa itaas. At yung DNR, may mga units yan. Isa sa mga units ng DNR, itong tinatawag na FMB or Forest Management Bureau. So, yung FMB class is a DNR unit which handles matters relating to a forest, development, and conservation. Ayan. So, kung natatandaan nyo pa class yung diniscuss ko sa inyo, yung NIPAS or INIPAS, di ba? Yung bago. May less doon na na 240 conserved and protected areas if I'm not mistaken na. So, yung forest, so pag forest daw yan, ang protected areas na yan, let's say for example, somewhere in Samar Leyte. Kasi, nung nakaraang discussion natin, yung mga example ko lang doon is nakafocus sa Region 7. So, ngayon, yung example ko dito, yung Samar Leyte. Diba? Sa Samar Leyte, may forest dyan that is regulated under INIPAS law. So, pag forest yan, ang FMB has the responsibility for the conservation and development thereof. So, dapat nakamonitor sila on that situation of the forest. So, kung pag-uusapan naman natin yung lupa, ang may responsibility dyan is yung LMB, di ba? Yung Land Management Bureau. It is a primarily task with matters relating to the rational classification, management, and disposition of lands. So, LMB yan. So, ang LMB, ibig sabihin ng rational classification, they have to identify whether a particular land is considered a residential, agricultural land. Pag wala pang owner yan, automatic tatawagin niyang forestal land. So, ibig sabihin, that should be utilized for growing the trees. So, ibig sabihin, ang lupa na yan is from the government. Kaya nga forestal, di ba? So, yon. Pero pag agricultural land naman daw, ibig sabihin yung lupa na yan is for agricultural products. Pag residential, ibig sabihin for establishment of houses. Also, it assesses the monitoring and evaluations of land surveys, management and disposition of lands to ensure efficiency and effectiveness, and issues standards, guidelines, regulations, and orders to enforce policies of maximum land use and development. Now, another unit in the DNR, itong tinatawag na Parks and Wildlife Bureau. So, ang PEWB is a unit primarily tasked to handle matters relating to the protections and conservations of wildlife. So, ayan. So, na-define ko naman to sa inyo, di ba? Kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng wildlife. Kasi pag sinabi nating wildlife, it is or these are the species that could be found in the water or it could be found in the forest. So, lahat ng naninirahan dyan could be part of wildlife. And it could be include the flora and fauna. So, ibig sabihin ng flora again, these are plants in the forest. At yung fauna, meaning animals. So, any kinds of plants belonging to the forest, pati na yung animals, kasali to sa tinatawag nating wildlife. So, lahat ng natural reserves and other protected areas under to sa tinatawag nating Parks and Wildlife Bureau. Ayan. Then, another, the Mines and Geoscience Bureau, yung MGB, di ba? So, yung MGB naman handles matters pertaining to geology and mineral resources, explorations, development, and conservation. So, lahat ng mga yan is under the responsibility of MGB. Whether yung mining natin, Let's say for example, yung na-discuss ko sa inyo, 'di ba, yung Small Scale and the Large Scale Mining Act, 'di ba? So dapat yung mga gamit na gagamitin mo for mining, dapat may permit ka coming from the DNR, especially or specifically yung unit nila, yung Mines and Geoscience Bureau, yung MGB. The next, yung pang-anim, itong coming from the NBI, EWPID, or the National Bureau of Investigation. So, Environmental and Wildlife Protection Investigation Division. So, ayan. So, remember class na yung NBI is under yan sa tinatawag nating DOJ, di ba? Or Department of Justice. So, dito, ang role ng NBI, EWPID is the establishment and maintenance of modern, effective, and efficient investigative services and research agency. It investigates crimes and other offenses against the law. So, both in its own initiative and as public interest may require. So, pag may violation class regarding the environment or the wildlife, pwede yung NBI, EWPID dahil sila yung investigative body dyan. So, sila yung may power to investigate regarding the crimes that violates the environmental protections. And now, let us go to the Blow Laws Enforcement Agency. Kasi kanina, yung mga nabanggit ko na mga agencies is under yon sa Green Laws. So, ngayon, sa Blow Laws naman tayo. So, sa Blow Laws, yung nasa taas, itong tinatawag nating BFAR. Ayan. So, yung BFAR is basically not under the DNR, but rather under the Department of Agriculture. Under yan sa DE. So, yung BFAR class ay in charge sa pagpapaunlad, di ba? And then, pag-aalaga at conservation ng ating mga isda at iba pang aquatic resources. So, yung keyword nyo lang dito is yung food security, di ba? Bakit? Kasi sinisiguro nila class na hindi mauubos yung isda na kinakain nating mga Pilipino. So, yun yung primary task ng BFAR. And then, sila din class ang lead agency sa pagpapatupad ng fisheries law sa labas ng municipal waters, wherein it is the LGUs who have jurisdiction. And then next is the Coast Guard, yung PCG, di ba? So, PCG is under the DOTC, yung Department of Transportation and Communication. So, it is the primary law enforcement agency when it comes to maritime-related matters. So, lahat ng maritime search, rescue, pati na yung law enforcement, pati na yung safety and security on environmental protections, that's within the responsibility of Philippine Coast Guard or PCG. And then another law enforcement agency is the Philippine National Police Maritime Group, yung PNPMG. So, it is a national operational support unit of the Philippine National Police mandated to perform all police functions over Philippine waters. So, yung PNPMG ay tawag sa kanila ay pulis sa dagat, di ba? So, ano yung function nila? Una, sabi dyan, enforce the law. So, paghuli daw ng mga kriminal. Pangalawa, prevent and control crimes. So, pagpigil sa mga illegal na gawain bago pa mangyari daw. And then, maintain peace and order. So, dito naman, sinisigurado lang nila na tahimik at maayos yung ating karagatan. So, usually class, yung nagbabantay dito, nagbabantay sila class sa pantalan, di ba? Yung makikita natin na merong mga pulis sa pantalan. And then, sinisigurado lang kasi nila doon na ligtas yung publiko at yung internal security. Next, Brown Laws Enforcement Agencies. Ayan, meron tayong Environmental Management Bureau o yung EMB. So, dito, It is the primary in our unit which deals with matters or with matters pertaining to environmental management, conservation, and pollution control. And then other agencies that handle waste management. So, ayan. Environmental crime detection and investigation. So, now in the part of investigation class, ito yung mga steps na dapat nating gawin. So, una, gathering facts and evidence. So, under gathering facts and evidence, ang step 1 ay kailanganin that you have to be well versed to the law because basically how can law enforcer be effective in law enforcement if in the first place it doesn't know about the law. So dapat alam mo yung batas, di ba? So bakit kailanganin na maalam ka sa batas? Kasi you have to determine ano ba yung specific section, ano ba yung specific na batas na na-violate. Tapos you identify the essential facts, no? 'Di ba you have to prove the elements of crime. So you have to provide the evidence in order to support your claims that this person is might guilty thereof. So 'di ba yung kung naaalala nyo, meron tayong tatlong aims or phases of criminal investigation. So number one, yung to identify the perpetrator or the suspect, 'di ba? Number two is to locate and arrest the suspect. And then number three is to provide evidence that will support his guilt. So dapat alam natin yung specific law or specific section ng batas na violate. And of course, yung essential facts. Next, step 2. So, ayan, kapag alam mo na yung violation, ngayon alamin mo kung ano yung mga ebidensya na dapat you have to gather to support that the person is guilty. So, if the violation is about illegal dumping of waste, so one of the evidences that you can get might be number one, 'di ba, yung CCTV, 'di ba? So, yung CCTV camera na nag-dump siya, that's the very good or that is a prima facie evidence. Kumbaga madali natin na malalaman na siya talaga yung may gawa nun. Or number two, you will go to the site or take a picture of it para meron ka lang ebidensya na siya talaga yung nagtapon, 'di ba? Or other evidences na pwede mong magamit sa korte. And then next, step 3, gather and preserve the evidence. So, may labeling and tagging tayo, 'di ba? Na tinatawag yung chain of custody. So, dapat i-observe natin 'yan. Then prepare the necessary affidavits and pleadings. So, yung affidavits class, ito yung statement coming from the witnesses. While complaint, ito yung written accusation furnish the complainant. At yung police officer naman, yung standing complainant. So, they are be the one who will furnish the complaint affidavit. Pati na rin yung motions, yung pleading whatsoever, ayan. Diba? So, and step 5, ayan, file a complaint with the proper agency or office. So, bakit proper agency? Kasi pag ang agency class na binigyan natin ng complaint is not the right forum, you would end up like an ignorant, di ba? Lalo na kung pulis ka, nakakahiya yun, di ba? So, as much as possible, dapat isakto yung forum na binibigyan natin ng complaint. Dapat correct yung agency, yung papasahan talaga natin. Then the last is monitor the progress of the case and render assistance. So that's all, class. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new about our environmental laws.